Yo guys, Loco JB here. So right now we are reacting to the rank 1 volibear. His mechanics is unstoppable tank apparently. So he doesn't actually go Rot, he still goes obviously Navari, it's still a very fitting item, but he does like Riftmaker a little more. The reasoning behind that, you get a little bit more upfront damage, and it also provides you a percentage increased damage, which affects the abilities as well that deal physical damage, not only the magical ones, which is seems to be a good thing. Some extra cool little healing, Omnivamp, right? It does some healing, cooldown is nice. So everything that Riftmaker provides is actually nice enough. And we can see he's actually like managing to like all in the guy, because he can like perma reset his Q, so he can maintain his Q speed also. So basically like he gets to like perma have that Q speed. Even though you stun only once, your Q and W applies a Navori cooldown reduction on hit, which just simply allows you to get more easily, value out of Navori, because they don't only they count to be basic attacks is Q and W for people that didn't know, except they can crit, except his Q obviously. And this is what allows the champion to reset his abilities so insanely quickly, plus attack speed from his passive. And all of his abilities are very good to be resetted, especially his WE. So he's kind of durable, he's good at chasing, he's good at everything, right? Now he does face a Jax. This is seen to be a hard matchup, but Jax did actually get nerfed quite a lot. So it may not be that difficult, I would say, but still, it's not the easiest. In there he got a little bit minion blocked, so pay attention to his pathing, right? So he went in with an E, and so he plays down his E, right? In case Jax continues fighting him. Now, if Jax continues fighting with his E, he's gonna walk inwards towards his E, so he can get that off in time. And so what he's trying to do in here is just to get a good E on him. If he can't, that's fine. And because his shield is still on, he's going for one basic attack swing. Jax eat it. But now in here he got minion blocked. It's somewhat luck, but it also takes some player calculation as well to bait the opponent into minion block. But this may not always happen. And so what happens, he walks in the bush. So if Jax ever stuns you, this applies to any other champions that could stun you. If they have AoE stun, walk in a bush. So at least they have to walk in the bush to get some basic attacks off, which means that some of the stun duration will diminish this way. You always want to walk into the bush. And now he has more control over the wave, because remember, 17 seconds on Jax's E, very important to remember. Volibear's E has, I think, like 12 or 14, I think it's 12 these days. Which just allows him to have more control of the wave. He even goes in for the basic attack there, gets that grasp pro, gets that passive, insane damage. And in here he does go for an all-in. He actually presses Q, but he was kind of smart about it. He doesn't basic attacks it off. Now you could also basic it off if you wanna predict Jax's E recast, but that's kind of a mechanical thing. And you can actually stun him, because like your basic attack is a uncancelable wind up, your Q basic attack, and if it get the exact timing off, you can actually stun him. But it's better on Volibear to actually get stunned, your Q resets, you maintain your speed a little bit, and you Q again. So you can get the Q off into the Jax later on. Now in here Jax is still level 1, I don't know why does he go for the CS instead of Jax. And now he gets his Q off. And now watch out, he maybe missed the E earlier on, but that's not super concerning. Jax has little tempo, by the way, he doesn't have grasp. It's better all in rune, but look what he does. So very smart, he goes for basics, and he gonna go for a very good flash, right? So he loves to time his E and Q together. That's what you ideally need to do on Volibear. So you wanna combine these abilities to get more value out of them, because often if you throw in an E, that will usually not hit. You need to combine it with your Q if you're a beginner. He's back to lane, so he did go for a Ruby Crystal, for an Amp Tome. So the Ruby Crystal actually serves the champion quite nicely, because his Grass WE scales with HP, and Amp Tome does actually provide you damage on your passive, E and ultimate, extra damage. Now the notable thing about Volibear's passive is that AP provides more attack speed on his passive, and also more on hit damage, right? And the interesting thing is, one Amp Tome equals the longsword amount of damage, or even more, because people tend to have less MR. Because like 50% of your AP is converted into extra basic attack damage on your passive. So an M-Tome actually does a longsword amount of damage, if it makes sense, right? So for example, that's quite lots of value. Think about it. For example, a blasting wand is actually very similar to a pickaxe on hit-wise on your passive. So that's very nice to know. Plus attack speed, obviously, that will also matter. But let's see, what does he proceed to do. He does a fake a Q, so he doesn't go off with the basic attack, he fakes it, so Jax uses his E, resets his Q, and I think he will try to go for another Q. Does he, I think he connects it, he keeps clicking, yeah, he does connect it. He knows Jax's E, 17 seconds cooldown, count it in your head, it's very important to count it. He knows the cooldown, so Jax doesn't use his E for a reason, because he does not have it. It's a long cooldown these days, so Jax players don't get to like parry your basic attacks. So if he burns it, it's more punishing, because late games kind of realize it's kind of a strong early game ability. Don't those rather strong early game abilities have a cooldown to kind of like balance it out, you know? Because at the time I think like Jax's E was like 14 or 12 seconds, something like that. So it does actually go for an E. Really good E, you know, because even if Jax goes in, you know, obviously he gets the plate, he gets the knee off at max on him. And he does actually all in the guy because he knows his limits. The thing about volibear, fighting volibear is kind of funny, especially I think the guy has like less than, and your W heals more the lower you are, right? So that makes the champion very scary. Does have the R as well, that provides him extra HP, attack range, you know, some size, and slow potentially, right? It also deactivates towers for beginners, I didn't know. And so basically what this guy does is that he loves to rush. I think usually doesn't go to Nashor's, he goes Riftmaker. I think that's better actually than Rod. Like, isn't Rod kind of weird? Because you don't really need mana. You kinda need cooldown, HP. HP is fine from Rod, AP is fine, but it doesn't provide cooldown and enough damage, I feel like. And its components are really bad. Like, I think Catalyst, as expensive as it is these days, it's not super good. Blasting Wand, it's just Blasting Wand. It's not really, like, it's not really something very big. And even in here, he knows his limits. So this is like a very big volibear player, right? So he really does know his limits. He actually goes under tower, through the minions, you know, gets the W off. He knows his limits because he does have boots, he does have the Q speed. So despite Jax is deep under tower, he knows for a reason that he does actually get that really good Q off, and that will allow him to get that all in off. Okay, let's get back to this. So what the hell happened? So he did use his aura earlier. So Twisted Fate ganked, the guy flashes. He does get his flash off, but I think he checks exactly at his E. So he couldn't get his W off in time, huh? Slightly, yeah. Oh, because his W animation was going. Look at this thing. It was slightly miscalculated from him. Oh, that was some milliseconds actually. Because like I think maybe if he used his W, nah, he needs the basic anyways. Like it's no better. Like even if you use it in your Q animation, it does not do much. It does not do all that much. Yeah, that's fine. And he will maybe kill. Oh yeah, Jax didn't respect the E, and sometimes I don't respect it either, but you gotta walk all the way back, because out of nowhere, volibear could snipe you with his range ability. And that sucks. That sucks a lot of dick if that does happen, because volibear can be very punishing, because his passive gives him a great amount of attack speed, use some extra damage towards towers, he can also dive if you are behind. So falling behind against volibear is very bad, you know. Even if you are in a winning matchup, if volibear gets ahead, if volibear gets his rift, maybe he gets his Navori, you are so fucked actually. That's the truth about the champion. So Keep that in mind. Even if you are in a good matchup, you play a good champion into volibear. Uh, Basically what's gonna happen is that if you fall like I know from experience as well, if you fall behind you're gonna suck it, especially if the guy goes Hullbreaker, maybe gets Hullbreaker as well to sideline even harder, but he also becomes this sort of beast in team fights as well if he's ahead enough, you know. I think maybe the guy could go Dark Seal, maybe a good Magi, you know, the 10% speed would be kinda sweet, no? Oh, that Zeri static, right, did a lots of damage, really good for multi-kills as well. So I don't suppose, does he catch with E? Maybe he catches with E. Hopium? Hope? Nah, it doesn't connect. I think he wants to settle for his red though. He wants his red. Does have his red on him, so he goes Randuins. Apparently they have crit champs. I do suppose Viego maybe... But they don't have crit champs, why does he go Randuins? For the slow? Maybe for the slow, but Iceborne also slows though. Which is a bit more spam, you know? Maybe Iceborne a little better, no? Because they don't have crit damage though, like who the fuck builds crit damage? Viego maybe builds... Doesn't Viego pellets don't really build crit items. Ezreal doesn't build crit. Jax doesn't build crit. I don't know, maybe he likes the extra slow. Maybe he wants the extra slow so he can connect his Q more easily, but... I mean... In 1v1 scenarios on the side lane it's not the best, you know, if you, oh no, he actually goes for the other one. No, he wants Iceborne for the slow. He wants more healing. Wants more healing, more armor would be kinda... Oh no, it's actually there. Okay, so Deadness is also there for him, huh? Hey, what's the fucking... I keep forgetting this item's name even though I do use it now and then. It's Defiant... I forgot the item's name, some healing... It's some healing items, kinda decent, don't worry, but I keep forgetting its name somehow. That auto reset was so quick I didn't even see the animation of his Q. Watch. What? Was that a bug or... maybe... Probably it looked like it was a bug because the Q animation didn't really go off, but... Maybe that's how it works if you're in mid-basic, I'm not sure. He does escape very easily because he does have his Q, you know, it resets on CC, he has Mercs, so he gets out of CC very quickly. So he has to run away because in teamfight scenarios where you get CC'd, where you get bursted, like it's all about like how likely, how quickly can you reset your abilities to all in someone, you know. How likely can you basic attack them, and in here the problem in teamfight is that Jax can maybe stun you, you cannot basic attack Jax because of his E, so you don't reset your abilities. Because by resetting your abilities you're gonna be more durable, and most of them do slow, have some form of mobility. And it's kinda like if it's difficult to like reset your abilities to team fight, then it may not be recommended unless your team is like fed enough or your team can play around you in a certain way. But volibear can be flexible, so it's totally fine if you side lane. So that's really good, especially even if you have someone that hovers you. Say you got someone like an assassin like Eve or something, you can dive, you have your ultimate, you know, so you're... Oh, actually one shots the jaw. Oh yeah, that's the volibear. His R, by the way, has a 250 AP ratio. The AD ratio is also very high, by the way. So that's why it hurts. That's why it hurts so much. For people that did not know it. I should play some volibear as well. I think I should play some volibear as well. Okay, but his Q resets. What now, Jax? His Q resets, he sidesteps it, huh? His whole team is just like, that's not good, he's getting... I mean, he doesn't want to commit, I think, because Twisted Fate is... So, you don't want to commit into the fight, because you're gonna die, obviously. But especially, you don't want to even 1-for-1, because TF is right now getting a tower on bot lane. So when your teammate is kind of like cross-mapping, you actually just want to just chill, you know? Not get anything done, if that's possible. If that's consistent. And then, oh, it looks like Viego is just fucking around. He gets caught by Papa Bear. Does get caught, he doesn't even work, doesn't need to. Okay, so Syndra does have actually the Banshee component. The necklace. It actually goes for the tower. I mean, towers give a lots of value. The mid towers got buffed, the tier 2 towers, so they give actually 450 gold. So it makes you think, should you chase for a kill or should you actually get the tower when you get the opportunity? Because if they have wave clear by chance, I mean, obviously Syndra was dead, the guy is dead, but if you get into like a situation where you have to kind of like choose, like, do I want to chase for a kill, do I want to get the tower, then you got to ask yourself how much is the gold value worth of chasing the kill, how likely you will get an opportunity again to destroy the tower, how consistent is it to get the tower compared to the kill, you know, how concerning, how important the XP is, because on some champs, if it gives even amount of gold to the tower and it gives some XP a kill, obviously it does, then on some level scalers like Kassadin, maybe you should be like, yeah, I could chase for a kill, because even if I get a kill, I have mobility from my R, so I could also like very quickly like get back and maybe get the tower, possibly. So it depends on the champion, because some champions could kill, like for example Ziggs could kill someone and he could also like really quickly destroy a tower. If it's low HP, he could even W it if he feels like. So if it comes down to Ziggs, maybe you need your W to finish off a kill, then you could wait your W and W the tower later on, you know, if you're not in a hurry. This is just an example, you know. Now that's it for now, guys. Thank you guys for watching and see you in the next video.